Xenoblade X is a really good game. If you think it's a bad game, then you're wrong. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. I can understand people not liking it, or preferring the other ones, but the only valid criticism I've seen are minor problems, but none of them are complete deal breakers. So for this episode, I'm gonna gloss over how X was different from Xenoblade 1. Rather than having a more fantasy/steampunk setting of Xenoblade 1, I'm not really sure what you'd call it, Xenoblade X starts in the real world in the year 2054. So you know, like an alternate future where we don't all die from climate change in 10 years? Two alien armies are at war with each other, and planet Earth is caught in the crossfire. Humanity is outmatched, so they try to run away, but most of the spaceships get blown up except for yours. And then 2 years pass and the aliens find you and attack you for some reason, and your ship breaks apart and crash lands on the alien planet called Mira. Unlike in 1, in X, you get to make your own character, but you don't get to adjust their chest size, and a move that pissed off horny Western fans. They're a silent protagonist during cutscenes, but they'll talk during battle. After that, the real main character shows up, Elma. She rescues you from your stasis pod and explains that it's been 2 months since your ship crashed and guides you back to the home base city called New Los Angeles, also known as NLA. Immediately, the setting and aesthetic is very much different from the first game, but the core gameplay mechanics are largely the same or improved upon. There's still a huge world to explore, a bunch of little blue crystal items to quickly collect, which again motivates you to explore. But this time around, the game is completely open world. After you complete the tutorial, which only takes like less than an hour, you can go literally anywhere in the game world. And you want to, because it's an alien planet full of real cool shit. There are 6 zones: city, grass, jungle, desert, ash, and lava. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, but the world looks both familiar and alien. It's good design. On one hand, you still have a foothold in reality, so you know what you're looking at, but on the other hand, you get to see some real cool looking weird shit. You thought Xenoblade 1 had a lot of quests. X has so many quests that it's actually the real focus of the game. There's a big quest board like it's Monster Hunter, and you pick up quests and go out and do them. You can pick up quests and quest chains from various citizens in the town, and those tell mini stories about the NPCs that will progress over time. You even recruit a lot of your party members this way. There's a larger cast of playable team members, 18 diverse characters in total compared to the previous game's 7. All of them have both heart-to-hearts like in the previous game, but they each also have multiple affinity missions, which is basically like a longer quest chain, where they have cutscenes and you learn more about each character and how they're adapting to this new planet and overcoming their personal struggles. However, compared to the previous game, the characters do get less focused than the game world does. When you do affinity missions, you also unlock that character's unique battle techniques to equip on your own character, so that's pretty cool. There are main story missions, but between each mission the game will be like, hey, go out and do a certain amount of stuff in this beautiful world we made, then come back later and you can continue the story. But it's completely up to you how you want to do that stuff. Do quests, fight big monsters, install probes in the planet's butthole so you can gather money and unobtainium. It's all up to you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you install probes for fast travel, and you install like a network on your gamepad to gather resources for upgrading your shops and other stuff. And you still have the Collectopedia and Personapedia, I should really look up what the actual name of this thing is, to register stuff and remember who everyone is. The main story is, it's fine. It's not bad, but nothing to write home about either. It's much more of a framework of events, not something to just launch straight through, then be done with the game. Story takes a backseat to gameplay and exploration in Xenoblade X. I'm even someone who prefers a more guided story-based experience in video games, but I can still appreciate this for what it is, because it does it really well. Besides, Breath of the Wild did the exact same thing, and you all love that game so much. Skyrim did the same thing, and everyone loves Skyrim. It's on every fucking console. What's the story to Skyrim? I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows. In fact, Xenoblade Chronicles X is literally the reason why Zelda Breath of the Wild is so good. Nintendo looked at Xenoblade X and its epic world scale, so they got half of Monolith Soft to help them make Breath of the Wild. If you played both games, you can see echoes of X's design in Zelda. You know, the game that's regarded by many as the greatest video game in the past decade.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Which brings me to my next point. It doesn't matter what the story is, because the real main character is center stage at all times. The world! This is one of the best looking games on the Wii U. God damn, this game looks good. Look Look at this shit. So many different vistas and enemy varieties. This is on the Wii U? The upgraded Wii powered by a potato? Goddamn, Monolith Soft has some wizards, I'll tell you what. And the armor and the clothes all have this futuristic look. And you can even wear clothes over your armor because fuck it, it's a video game. Make design decisions that benefit the player's experience. If you want the look of one thing, but the stats something else, fuck it, you can just do that. You can wear a bikini over your alien armor and whoop some ass while being half naked if that's what you want to do. Except for the 13-year-old girl character, her swimwear covers up more, which is a good decision. Weirdly controversial hot take incoming. Underage girls in video games should keep their fucking clothes on. What's wrong with you people? Yeah. But what's the game sound like? It sounds great. Some songs like the combat songs have a more futuristic electronic tone to them, and the world songs sound more orchestral. I don't like it as much as Xenoblade 1 soundtrack, but I still like it a lot. Some people will say they don't like this game soundtrack, but that's mostly because there are two absolutely terrible songs. Unfortunately, those two songs are the daytime and nighttime theme of New LA, which is the area that the player will spend most of the time in. The songs sound like vocal warm-ups that weren't meant to be recorded, not the songs that should be played the most. The rest of the music ranges from pretty good to really good. A lot of the music, especially songs that played during cutscenes, sound a lot like they're from Attack on Titan. That's because the game has the same composer as Attack on Titan. Nope, not that song. That song was actually done by the same guy who did the music to Bravely Default, so you should go check out the soundtrack track to Bravely Default because it absolutely slaps. No, I'm talking about the songs that play during the show. Like go listen to Armored Titan theme, it sounds a lot like a Xenoblade X song. One downside to the cutscene music is that a lot of the times, the music reaches its emotional climax at a different point than the cutscene reaches its big reveal moment, which is a little bit jarring. Also, sometimes the music in cutscenes is too loud, and I can't hear the characters talking. What is this? One of my videos? A lot of people will meme on the main combat theme because it has rapping in it, of all things. But first of all, the rapping doesn't come in until like a minute and a half into the song, and most battles are over by then. The battles in this game are super quick, and the song is a gradual build-up song, so when the vocals do come in, it probably means that the battle is pretty intense, and the rapping actually kinda works. The voice acting in this game is also really good, except for two characters. Not because the acting is bad, but because they did an annoying voice for the role, and no one told them to change it. L, who thankfully you can just bench for the entire game so you don't have to listen to him, and Tatsu, who is the one Napon in this game who tags along when Lin is in the party, and he's the worst character in this game. Oh my god, he is so annoying. I block him out from my memory whenever I think about Xenoblade X. It's almost as if Napon are really annoying characters, and their increasing role in Xenoblade games should be reconsidered. What? The battle system. The battle system is similar to the first games with auto attacks and choosing arts, but they're much faster paced and you can have a maximum of 4 instead of 3 party members. This time you have a melee weapon and a ranged weapon that you can freely switch between. Some arts correspond to melee and others to ranged. Your arts do a single charge regardless of what weapon you're using, however they'll do a double charge if you're wielding the weapon that corresponds to it, and the double charge will have added effects. Instead of a tension meter in the first game where your characters spontaneously combust, you have tension points, which is sort of similar to an MP bar in other RPGs, where certain arts require a certain number of TP to use, but other arts and stuff will build your TP back up during combat. There's sadly no chain attacks in this game unfortunately, but instead you have Soul Voice, where randomly a party member will say, "Someone use this type of move," and if someone does it, then you'll do better in battle and recover some health, which is nice because healing techniques are pretty rare in this game, but thankfully the battle system is balanced around that. When you get up to 3,000 tension points, you can choose to either save it in case you need to revive a party member, or you can activate your overdrive. In overdrive you can, the thing on the screen starts spinning, and the number starts going up, and your arts charge like way faster, and even like triple charge, and you do more damage probably. And I mean, look, full disclosure, I have no fucking idea how overdrive works, man. I just know you just do better. That's actually a pretty common criticism of Xenoblade X. While it teaches you the basic systems fairly well, it doesn't do a very good job of teaching you the deeper systems in it, leaving you to either figure it out yourself or look it up online. Well, that and the text is too small. Although I personally never had a problem reading anything on screen, I can very much understand people's complaints about that. For example, I had no idea what the potential stat did. I just thought it was the equivalent of like luck Turns out that stat corresponds to your TP arts, and you can just stack up potential gems, and sort of similar to agility in the first game, which they actually nerfed in this one, you can exploit the potential stat and make yourself just like invincible. Also, you can equip gems on your armor and give yourself stat boosts. Game does not tell you this. But this is gonna sound kinda corny, but this lack of info kinda ties into the themes of this game. It's all about being on this new mysterious alien planet, and humanity has to work together for survival. I played the game the day it came out, and since there weren't many guides available, I had to look up what other players found. Players had to share information with each other on this intricate game world, so I think the lack of tutorials may have been intentional. Is this a bit of a flawed approach? Well, yeah, but is it ambitious, and does it make sense? Absolutely. Oh yeah, this game also had online features. You can recruit your friends' characters or random people's characters into your party, and you can do global quests and fight limited time bosses. I never really did any of this stuff, but it's there, and it's cool that it's there. Also, I feel like there's one feature I'm forgetting about this game that really sets it apart from the other ones. Oh yeah, giant fucking robots. You get your own giant ass robots. Your whole team can get their own giant ass robot. They transform into cars and you can drive it around. And of course you can take them into combat. You can switch between fighting on foot, then pulling a Shinji and getting in the robot. You can use your overdrive in the robot. You can fly around a huge ass gorgeous ass open world in the robot. How many games does you fly around a huge ass gorgeous ass open world in the giant ass robot? Not very many, I'll tell you that much. There is so much stuff in this game.
But the text is too small, so the whole game is bad.
The fuck is wrong with you? Just sit closer to your TV. Gamers can't appreciate anything, man. It's ridiculous. Video games, munch, munch, munch. Video games, munch, munch, munch. Welcome back to another episode of Snacking Gamer, where we look at how easy it is to play a game while eating food. Today we're looking at one of my favorite snacking games, Xenoblade Chronicles X. This game has a big open world and an auto run button, so you can press the auto run, then eat some two-handed food. But you're not always gonna be going everywhere by walking, or driving, or flying. So you gotta use the fast travel. There's a good amount of load times fast traveling since you know the game's on the Wii U, but it's about the same amount of time you need to refill your beverage. Maybe grab a brownie too. Well, this game is incredible. For my snacking gamer rating, I give it a Thanksgiving dinner. Everything's bigger than a regular meal. You got a bigger world, bigger cast of characters, bigger enemies, bigger music, bigger list of things that you can do in the game. You gotta really hunker down and get ready for a big meal like this. Now, bigger isn't always better, especially if someone brings over some real shitty mac and cheese aren't carrying. Some people prefer a smaller experience, and I get that, but overall, this is an amazing experience. Thank you, Snackin' Gamer, for interrupting. But when this game came out, a lot of fans were saying, yo, if you take the great story and characters from Xenoblade 1 and the fast-paced combat and a huge open world and flying around in giant robots from Xenoblade X, you'd have the perfect game. The next Xenoblade game is going to be incredible. So for the next couple episodes, we'll be taking a look at what we got instead of that.